Bouncer Fitness. Thank you so much for joining me here today. I'm really excited to go and give a talk today about health coaching. And so I put health coaching in sort of a blanket categories. We think of personal trainers or nutritionists or any other different coach that helps you with stress or issues in their own or issues in your own life when it comes to being able to go and holistically improve your own health and wellness. That could be your naturopath, that could be any number of various different professionals that can be able to go and help you on your journey. So I wanted to talk about today the top 5 most important things that you should consider when it comes to hiring your health coach. What should your health coach give you and offer you, all right, before you decide to go and hire them? And so, again, I've met with various different health coaches and all across the world, and I've been very fortunate to work with a lot of people through places like the CHEK Institute or through my undergraduate work at Alma and other different places. But I wanted to be able to go through and say, how do we go and sort of pick the best one that's going to be to fit your needs? So I came up with a sort of a 5-list bullet points of things that I would go and look at when it comes to going before hiring any health coach. So I'll start off quickly as number 5. Number 5, I always talk about of walking the walk. And so what that means, so that may mean for you, is that the person that you're working with lives the things that they talk about. So is either lived the process of becoming healthier or having these health issues that perhaps they've overcome, or that they live on a daily basis through their actions that go and put them in a better position for being able to go and help understand the health and wellness needs of others. So just like, you wouldn't want a personal trainer who eats donuts and smokes cigarettes. That's sort of an extreme example, but being able to go and take the everyday steps to be able to go and improve their health and wellness, not just the physical health, but also mental, emotional, and spiritual health as well. Because again, we are physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual beings. It's not just one. We got to be able to work on all of those aspects of our health and well-being. So someone that, has daily routines that when you ask them, like, hey, what's your daily routine like? Talking about the things that they do when it comes to exercise or how they eat or how they plan their meals, how they go and work on reducing stress, especially, when, life isn't perfect. It's sometimes easy when you're single and don't have a lot of responsibilities in comparison to someone who's got 2 kids. Because most of the time when you talk about people who want to go and work with a health coach, they feel overwhelmed with the stressors that they've accumulated over their lives, and that sometimes includes family and job stressors. So being able to go and really sort of understand that when you are looking at a health coach, being able to go and understand that, all right, well, how much do their recommendations that they've lived go and match up with the things that I need to be able to go and incorporate into my life? The next part I would talk about is education or certifications. So number 4, education and certification. So I'm fortunate. I've had a loving parents who went and helped me go to be able to go to college. And I'll have to admit, when I was 18, I thought about basically where I could continue a college football career at, not necessarily like where's the best place to be able to go to college. But fortunately, I was able to go and get both out of the same package when I went to Alma. And I had my undergraduate degree as a bachelor's in exercise and health science. Now, when you're looking for a health coach or a personal trainer, you don't necessarily have to have someone who has an education, has an undergrad degree. It certainly is a good way to determine that they've studied a lot of these things. But you can be able to go and self-study and be able to self-learn, and many professionals do choose to do that. However, one of the things I would go and make sure that when you look at certifications and which ones are going to be the best and which ones are going to be the most detailed, there's a lot of different certifications out there when it comes to health and wellness coaching that are going to be, some of them are going to be really, really good, and some of them are going to be not so good. So the things that I would go and look at when it comes to certifications for personal training or health and wellness coaching, number one is any certification from the CHEK Institute out of California is really, really high level work. And again, you don't necessarily need to go and have a degree to be able to go and do and learn certifications from the CHEK Institute. It certainly helps in the background, but you can go and you can study and you can learn. In fact, the head of the CHEK Institute, Paul Chek, is one of the smartest people I've ever met. He does not have a college degree. So very important that we go and that the person, when you talk about certifications or educational background, is that it doesn't necessarily have to be the formal education at a high level university, but someone who's also going and taking time to continuously educate themselves. That's another key that we want to be able to understand, is that your health coach should be going on daily, weekly, monthly, being able to go and doing something to be able to go and help learn and expand their knowledge. We have to realize that we are not, we're not coming out of the womb knowing everything about the world. The same thing with health coaches or personal trainers, is that we have to be able to learn as we go, just like any other profession. And so, yes, we try to be able to go and have a background in education before we start working with people. But as you know, this experience does go and is the best teacher. So someone who does have quite a bit of experience, or perhaps is dedicated to being able to learn new things on a daily basis. So that way you can be able to go and be assured that you're not constantly just learning the same concepts, as well as you growing as a client and for your own health and wellness, that the person that you're working with is also growing to be able to go and help you reach your full potential. Number three is attention to little details. One of the things that I notice quite a bit with exercise, I've noticed this over the years, exercise especially, but and it's an easy one to go in and you make an example of, is that if we're not paying attention, or the health coach isn't paying attention to the very little details or asking very specific questions, you can go and run the risk of not getting the results that you want. One of the things that I go and talk to people, for example, when they are doing a squat or a lunge or any type of exercise, I'll go through and say, you're supposed to feel it in places A, B, C, and D, and not in places E, F, G, and H. And be able to go and consistently go and say, are you feeling it here? You shouldn't be feeling it here. And asking just a basic question of, how does that feel? And you just get an okay back, and that's all you ask back. That's not enough details a lot of times. So you want someone who's going to be very, very detail oriented, asking, okay, well, all right, what does okay mean? Like, I'll get an answer from someone that's fine, but I'm like, I'm starting to get a little bit of tightness in my shoulder now as I start to probe a little bit deeper and ask a little bit of more specific questions about how the body feels. And as you go through, and as a health coach, you'll learn through experience that the things that you ask and how to ask more probing questions and be able to get those details, so that way you can better serve your customers better. So if when you talk about working with a health coach, make sure that someone is going and making sure that they're doing and asking those very, very specific questions. The number two most important thing I would talk about when it comes to a health coach is, do we go and advocate and focus more on lifestyle changes versus what I call more symptomatic-based work, where we're either chasing it with supplements or what I call an allopathic method. So allopathic medicine, you might have heard of the term, is meant to be able to go and say, I take this for that, right? So if I have a headache and I take Tylenol, right? Tylenol doesn't go and cure the root cause why I have the headache. whether I was dehydrated or I had a concussion or some other different physical or chemical ailment. Tylenol is meant to be able to go and cover up the pain signals that your body is getting, right? If I go and have elbow pain and I put some Aspercreme on it or something like that, the same thing happens, right? I'm covering up the pain signal rather than getting to the root cause of why my elbow keeps hurting. The same thing happens when it comes to overall health and well-being. Overall health and well-being changes, positive changes, come from when we start to make and change our lifestyle, to take true responsibility for our health. And going and focusing on whether it's taking a pill or a supplement or a one-off diet or whatever it is, it doesn't change the fact that you have these underlying root causes of the problems that we have that are causing us to have the long-term chronic health issues. So if we're going to go out there and we take a medication or a supplement for high cholesterol, that doesn't go and get to the root cause of why our cholesterol is high in the first place. It usually has to do with something with how our body's reacting to stress when it comes to cholesterol. And I've talked a little bit about that in videos. If you want to check out some of those, go ahead on my social media. You can be able to go and find one on cholesterol and stress as well. But if your health coach is constantly going and saying, take this supplement, take this supplement, take this supplement, take this supplement, take this pill, without going and working on some of these underlying root cause issues, then we might need to look for someone else. And the number one most important thing when it comes to being able to hire a health coach is flexibility of that health coach. And so not physical flexibility, obviously, not, whether or not the person can go and twist themselves into a yoga pretzel or reach down and touch the floor, but flexibility from their protocols. Every person that I work with is a puzzle piece, meaning that everyone's got some issues going on when it comes to their own health and physiology, and it's a puzzle of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual stressors. So if we go out there and we just have work on one of those puzzle pieces, or I only have a set protocol that I do with everyone, and if it doesn't work for that person, sorry. If we're always working on a set protocol of I do thing A for every person, or thing B for my next step, and thing C for my next step, you're not going to go and see true health changes, because everyone is different and everyone's needs are different. So someone who can have the flexibility to adapt the program to the person that they're working with. So I hope that helped with being able to go and understand some of the things that you may be dealing with on a daily basis, and help you be able to pick the health coach that works best for you. If you guys have any questions, please don't hesitate to leave it in the comments below. And I look forward to seeing you all again soon. Thank you so much for joining me today.